The Floor Academy podcast is sponsored by Trelama, the trade labor marketplace, where businesses can find skilled trade labor, such as flooring installers, and where flooring installers and other skilled tradespeople can find permanent or project work. You can set up your profile at trelama.com, TRALAMA.com, or download the app from the Apple App Store or Google Play. And remember, Trelama is always free for skilled tradespeople. Welcome to the Floor Academy podcast. I'm your host, Kyle Hedin, owner of Illustrious Hardwoods in Phoenix, Arizona. We are here to talk with flooring professionals from all across the country about the issues that matter to you. This week's guest is Jorge Perez. Jorge owns and operates Epic Hardwood Floors in Tacoma, Washington. Before establishing Epic Hardwood Floors, Jorge was traveling around the country with his enlisted wife. After years of going between employee and owner, they settled in Washington, and eventually Epic Hardwood Floors was born. Jorge's tips for success include building relationships and adding the cherry on top. Listen in to find out how you can get raving reviews and fans. Jorge Perez, are you on the line?
Yes, I'm on the line.
Awesome. Welcome to the Floor Academy podcast. Thank you so much for joining me. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and give us the quick trip down memory lane of how Jorge got to where he is today.
Well, my name is Jorge Perez from Epic Hardwood Floors here in Washington, the state of Washington, Tacoma, Washington. And I've been in the industry since the year 2000. But actively doing hardwood floors for 16 years. I was a late tile, some LVP, and just about everything I could get myself into as long as it's not a roof. I'm here today to talk to Kyle and see how hopefully I could bring something positive to everybody. And yeah, hopefully it's positive. You know, I hope you guys can take something positive out of this and learn something and help you in your business and your everyday transitions.
Oh, I'm sure they will definitely get something. If you've been doing it, 16 years for the most part, full time, you've obviously been doing something right. So you've got something to take away. Honestly, can you say your name again? Because you say it way better than me.
Jorge.
I can't. My mouth doesn't work that way.
George works for
I ain't gonna
My
call.
wife calls me George.
I'm not gonna call you George. I can't do the accent. So.
Oh yeah, the R. Yeah, you roll your R's.
Yeah.
You gotta listen more talk to stand.
Look, dude, I'm just a little white boy. I ain't ever gonna be able to do it, and that's okay. Man, all right. So, what if you got into this? You said about 2000. What were you doing before?
I was 18 years old, so I was in high school. High school was a thing for me. So it started with just rentals from Home Depot, and some pit stains. A lot of pit stain hardwood floors. And this was back in East LA, California. That's where I got my first start. Now I live in Washington.
Were you playing with it on your own, or did you have somebody that was teaching you and bringing you up?
No, there was nothing. There was kind of like scuff and shoot. Get her sanded, stain it really, really dark to hide the pit stains, and apply a lot of polyurethane on it. There was no. It was kind of one of those floors where no matter what you do to it, it was gonna look good, better than what it was from the get go. Okay. My kind of floors. I still love those floors, you know what I mean? And they make money, man. They're a big money maker. You can still make a lot of money refinishing and making something ugly, turn it into something pretty and something livable and healthier.
Okay. So how did we get from East LA to Tacoma, Washington?
I met my wife. My wife joined the military, and we went to Georgia, Texas, Colorado, and now here in Washington. So probably about 10, 12 years. That's what we did. So every 3 years, it was up and go.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So in the
now
go ahead.
hmm So she finally retired, and we're here in Washington now. This is home.
Okay. So as you went around, did you continue to like do flooring work on your own, or did you go and like work for people knowing that you were going to pick up and move constantly? Like where did obviously you're still doing it at this point, so there's got to be a passion for it. So was that just there innately? Did you develop it along the way? Somebody kind of help guide you? Like what was that journey like to get you to where you are today?
Well, being in the trade, you're always going to find work. There's always going to be a floor to be fixed. There's always going to be a floor to be installed, no matter what floor you do, whether it's carpet, tile, vinyl, hardwood floors, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we found ourselves in Georgia, and I went to work for a big company. And this company, I was like, the guy there. And so we were doing hardwood floors, and they were doing all floor coverings. But my main deal was hardwood floors. And then stuff went south there. The economy tanked, and so we went to Texas. And luckily, Texas was up and running like nothing else. So, but because of the concrete slabs, we had a lot of laminate and tile. Those are bread and butter, really. And I was working for myself then.
Okay.
I decided to start my own deal, and that worked great. Because I was able to be my own man. I mean, and then Texas, same thing. I was on my own. I was doing a lot of cheap work. I was doing a lot of stuff from lumber liquidators. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not doing any high end stuff. Just a normal guy, just like anybody else. Trying to make a living. Learning as I was. I was screwing up floors as I went. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie. But we made it happen. Kept a lot of integrity. People loved the fact that we were being very honest about what we did. And that's what kept us afloat. And then Washington, when I started getting serious about what I did, and I was still an employee because I didn't have money to buy all these tools and equipment it takes to run a business. Mm-hmm. And then finally, I was able to get out and be financially well. And I bought a lot of used equipment, man. You don't have to necessarily go buy brand new equipment and look all shiny.
Yeah.
But if your work and your quality of your work speaks for itself, then you're good. And sometimes it's not really about how good you do. It's about how you treat a client. Clients hire you for the experience.
Yes.
And if you give them a good, positive experience, they might overlook that piece of trash, or they might overlook that fact that you didn't clean up the one day. They'll overlook a lot of things that maybe some clients might trip out, especially if you're, being, a little hard-headed. But yeah, it's just honesty and hard work, man.
Well, that's what it sounds like. You were moving around and you put in time and effort, and you went from, on your own to working for somebody to on your own, back to working for somebody, back to out on your own. So you kind of have that knowledge of both sides of it, but you nailed a key point in that that experience. Everyone gets hung up on, I'm selling this person a floor. They called me for an estimate. I'm going to go sell them a floor. The minute you sell them a floor, in my opinion, you're screwed, because now you are competing on price against everybody else that goes out there. You hit the point and you told me you sell them an experience. So if you sell that client your customer experience, now it doesn't matter what you charge, because you've built in the value of, hey, look, I'm going to offer you all of this. It's not about the floor. It's about how we get the floor.
Right.
So where did that come from for you?
That came from my stepdad. My stepdad is a Mexican Italian guy, and his deal was it's funny. His name is Domingo. and Domingo means Sunday. And Sunday came out to be as a Sunday ice cream. He always mentioned, look, banana sundae has, a cherry has nothing to do with ice cream, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you order a banana sundae or any kind of whatever, it's going to have a cherry on top, right? And it's not a sundae, and it's not a banana split without the cherry on top. And so he always mentioned how, and he always stressed about this thing when I was young, about how you had to put the cherry on top in order to be a sundae, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's true. And it's true. If you don't put that extra cherry on top of your work, right, maybe some guys don't want to move that piece of furniture for that old lady, right? I get a lot of old clients. And they're like, no, I don't want to move that for you. And I'm the other way. I'm like, man, move all the little things. That couch that is huge, or that chest, or that cabinet, or whatever it is, we'll move it for you at no cost. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't understand the value that comes to that person. All of a sudden, they're like, "Oh my gosh, you lifted something out. You're putting that cherry on top." Sweeping, the area where you were cutting, and you're cutting outside, and it's going to rain, it's going to wash it out, but you sweep it a little bit, move it around a little bit, show that you care. And that goes a mile for anybody. You know what I mean? And not only you're also going to feel great about it, but also your client. I mean, the client is going to tell everybody about how nice you were to move that couch or that hutch. And believe it or not, they're going to tip you. They're always tipping. You know what I mean? You're going to be like, well, I could have paid the neighbor $100 to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Or I could have bothered such and such. And so adding that cherry on top was the thing that always stood up to me. You know what I mean? You always have to put that cherry on top, even though it has nothing to do with ice cream. And that was the thing I took from you got to take something from everybody, Kyle. You know what I mean? When you meet somebody, you got to take something positive or negative from somebody.
Yep.
Whoever it is. And, I could meet an installer who tells me that he uses whatever, and I'll be like, fuck no, right? Or I could meet an installer that says, hey, dude, have you ever tried this or that? And you're like, what? You know what I mean? And you take something positive and you try it, and guess what? You might have learned something that lots of knowledge from somebody. So if you take something positive or negative from every relationship, whether it's good or bad, and you apply it into your life, into your work, especially your work, it's gold in itself, man. It weighs in gold.
I couldn't agree more. I think your stepfather is a very wise man. He taught you a basic life lesson in a story you could understand, and it's still relevant today. That's not going to go away. So I mean, I thank you for those insights. It's so valuable, and it's so simple to take away. And you're right. You have to go into a situation and you can't stop learning. That's why Floor Academy exists, is I needed to find a way to learn. And so here I am sharing what I learned with everybody else as I go through this journey of trying to build this little empire I have in my head of owning some flooring stores and stuff. So you're right. What are we going to be able to take away from everybody we come in contact with? I get in my clients' homes and I find out, one of them was some bigwig for Intel, because they have a plant down here making the microchips, and they have a huge complex and blah, blah, blah. So he's like some bigwig for Intel. And I was like, cool, man, what books do I need to read? And so he listed me off a bunch of books of here's what the successful business people are reading. Okay, I appreciate your time, and you can, anywhere you can find it, that little old lady you're moving that piece of furniture for, what'd she have to say? She's seen a lot of stuff. She's got to have some kind of good insight on some part of life. So I'm 100% with you. You've got to find, not only do we need to provide that cherry on top, but we need to find the little pieces that go with it to really top off that sundae as we go. We need to find the sprinkles and the chocolate sauce and the banana, and we gotta acquire all that stuff, and you're not gonna get it if you keep to yourself. So go ahead. Nope.
Go ahead.
You're good, man. Go ahead. What you got?
It's just Kyle, it's just a matter of improving, finding ways to improve every day. You know what I mean? We're all doing this. This is how we make a living.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So we always have to find a way. That it doesn't necessarily have to be the new shiny band, but it's always a look. We always have to look professional in a way or the other. Make shirts. Go to estimates, and I mean, particularly you're gonna go. You're dating somebody. You know what I mean? Like I spray cologne and get GQ with it, man. Sell it.
Ooh.
Sell it. Whatever it is, sell it, bro. You know what I mean? Pretend that you're gonna go see that pretty girl, and just my wife gets weird with me, man. If I go out to go and do an estimate because I'm GQ like you don't understand, man. You know what I mean? And so bring samples.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Bring samples of whatever you're selling. You know what I mean? There's nothing like visually seeing, touching, feeling something. Make sure that your samples. One thing I'm killing it, Kyle, is with an iPad. You can bring the samples, but an iPad has been helping me a lot. So what I do is I have an iPad, and I have obviously as soon as you open it, you have a picture of my family,
okay.
Right? So now this person is engaging with you. You know what I mean? Sees that, hey, I'm not a gangbanger. You know what I mean? I'm not some kind of drug addict. So you immediately engage with that person. As soon as they open the iPad and they see it, boom, family. Oh, this is a family person. You know what I mean? So, okay, great. And then they see pictures of, let's say, I'm putting down floors, right? Hardwood floors. Oh, flooring. And colors. I have a whole, just a one app of just colors. And grays. Let's say grays are really involved right now.
Yeah.
So, boom, great. And in between those pictures, what you want to do is take a picture of your dog or a cat, whatever animal you have, whatever it is that you like, But if you have a dog or a cat, take a picture of them, something cute. A lot of people relate. We all love dogs. We all love cats. I mean, if you're a cat person, take a picture of your cat. I mean, boom, there's more. They become familiarized with you. I mean, they understand that you're a human being.
Yeah.
And so it's all really psychological. So an iPad has been helping me because while I'm doing my measuring, this person is going through an iPad, so they got something to be entertained about. You know what I mean? Oh, look. Oh, great. Also, take some pictures of something else that if you went in there to bid on a hardwood floor job, but you also have tile. They're like, oh my gosh, you do tile. Well, we're looking to do wood, tile, and now you're giving bids to not only one product, you're also giving bids to another product.
Mm-hmm.
If you do carpet, dude, take some carpet pictures in there. You know what I mean? Or if you sub it out. Oh gosh, we also want to get our carpets done upstairs. Now you're measuring the whole house, dude.
Yeah.
So because they reached out to you for one service and they didn't realize that you do many services. And without seeing the picture, you could tell them, oh, I also do this, I also do that. But a picture is going to it's going to transcend you a mile in their mind. You know what I mean? Wow. You know what I mean? Wow, this is beautiful. Or at least keep you in mind for the next project. An iPad or some kind of, if you could get an iPad, invest in an iPad and just focus it just for work. That right there, just on pictures, all your portfolio. Build a good portfolio and show it. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be anything tricked out, just pictures. Clean pictures. Dude, that has been my bread winner, bro. I strongly advise everybody to just invest in something like that. All my clients love it. And we all are into technology. We all want to touch and click. with our fingers or something. Maybe right now with the coronavirus, we might want to sanitize that iPad a few more times, but maybe put a plastic rubber on it or something. But that is, it's gold.
No, I think you're onto something there, in that, I'm going to take a stab that you've probably read Formula 6. The
what? I'm sorry.
Formula 6. Did you read that marketing book?
No. I am reading a book right now that is called. I have it here with me. It's by Dale Carnegie, and it's How to Win Friends and Influence People in the Digital Age.
That's okay. I didn't read that one, but his original book is a classic. No, you're onto something with like how to, talk with the people, and you give them something to interact with. I've talked to guys that were doing this long before I have, and you used to bring a picture of, you'd bring your portfolio, but it was like you'd bring a photo album. So you'd give that to the client to look through as you went and bid the project, and you were measuring and all of that stuff. So essentially you're doing the same thing, and then you kind of throw in some family stuff, and you can say, oh, hey, look, our kids are the same age, and you get a conversation about that. Like, the more you build rapport with somebody, then the better chance you have of landing the job, because now you're no longer like the floor guy that came over. You're Jorge, or you're Kyle, or you're Bob, or Jan, or Sue, or whoever's out there doing the work. Like, if they can connect with you on a personal level, it's no longer just about a dollar amount at the end of the day. Once again, we're not trying to bid the flooring and put a dollar amount on it. Our dollar amount, if we're higher, should not matter at the end of the day, because we've done so many other things for them that they know what they're getting for that extra money, and that cost doesn't matter.
Yeah, and that's why I go back to experience. You're selling an experience, something great, something that guys don't offer. I mean, many guys want to get in, get out, make the dollar, get out. But the moment you're selling an experience, they're gonna tell everybody, man. And another thing is trust, building trust, always, foremost, and always building trust.
Yes.
They can understand, like, dude, I make mistakes all the time. You know what I mean? I'm probably the worst at making, I make mistakes all the time, but the person trusts you. If you tell them, hey, you know what, I accidentally made a hole in your wall. They're like, hey, don't worry, we got a painter coming, so we're going to paint anyway, done. But if I would have just left it alone and then they realize it, once the trust is gone, dude, it's over. Building trust with them on everything. Be transparent. I mean, I'm very transparent with every client. And they love that. And I get calls from clients that I did work. I forget their names. That they're calling me back, hey, I want you to come back. Now just their floor guy. I'm like forever their floor guy.
Yeah.
And it's not because I was the greatest. It's not because I was the cheapest. It's because of the trust and the relationship we built with them. They don't think of anybody else. They don't want to call anybody else.
Yeah.
Well,
that's the
so
thing.
that
you want to stay top of mind with them, like you are. You want them to think of you first. Honestly, my goal would be, I want all of my clients to call me no matter what they need. If they want a financial advisor, I've got one for you. You want a cabinet guy? I got that too. Like, I don't do just trade work. If you want me to find you a realtor, I've got a couple of great realtors I can work for. You got a problem? Call me first. I'm your guy. That's the relationship I want to have, and the trust level I want to have with all of my clients, is that I'm the first person they call whenever they need anything.
That's amazing, man. That's amazing.
Well, that's the goal. I mean, you got to work on it, but essentially, how else are you going to stay top of mind? If I can be the person they always want to call, then anytime they hear that word flooring, it's, oh, hey, that's the guy, I got him. Or if they need to find something out for another friend, it's, oh, I can call my flooring guy. He knows everybody.
Right. Yeah.
So
that's
That's
great there.
yeah, that's what I'm trying to build. It's going to take time, but it's along the same lines. That's essentially what you're doing. Is they're calling you back because you built that relationship. It's doing what you're doing. Let's take it one step further. Let's be their guide for everything, essentially. You know, like that's what I'm after. Is they can do things without me, but essentially I want them to not, why think? Just call Kyle. He can do it.
Yeah.
And same thing for you. Let's just call Jorge. He knows everybody.
Yeah, I do. I get multiple calls for other trades that I'm not. I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll find you a guy. And building relationships, anywhere, anytime, anywhere. You know what I mean? I talk to a lot of my local guys who are here because I want to find out. First of all, I want to find out what they're charging. I want to find out what equipment they're. Like I'm doing some not in this investigative work, but I want to know what they're on the loop. But I'm like competing against. You know what I mean? And like I said, you learn something. You learn something good. You learn something bad. When you walk into a bid and you say, "Hey, have you had any other bids done?" I try not to ask like what they do or who bid them, but they'll start telling me, or I'll see a business card on their desk, and then that's when you capitalize and you upsell on them something that they're not selling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you take advantage of that, and so getting to know the guys who are around you, what they're offering, what they're charging. Obviously, you want to be conscientious about what they're charging, because you could call somebody and be like, "Hey, bro, you're really killing us. You're not helping."
Yeah.
Bring out, like, especially if they're doing good work. You see somebody who's doing good work and is lowballing themselves because they don't know any better, and that's working for them. You call them and you tell them, like, "Hey, bro, step it up, bro, step it up," and they do. Like, you're not only doing yourself some good, you're doing that person some good as well, and you're bringing the just the trade up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead of me trying to compete with that person at their price, because that's going backwards. But networking with everybody around you in your area, it's probably been the best thing I've done, and also finding a mentor. Unfortunately, I haven't found a good mentor for me yet. I'm still in the hunt.
I'm right here, buddy. Don't worry about it.
Awesome. Yeah, you know what? Honestly, I do, man. I do, because I am, like, I manage companies and I manage guys, so that's good. But business management, as in business, I got to my feet.
Yeah, no,
you know what I mean?
I'm with you, man. I ain't no good either. But that's one thing that's come up on this podcast a lot is that you are the sum of the 5 people you hang around most.
Right.
So there's the key, man. Like you go find those 5 people you want to be and go hang around them. So you'll find that business guy you need, dude. You'll find anybody you need. And then
good. That brings me good news, because the 5 people I do hang out with, they're a lot more successful than I am.
That's it.
And, and they're doing something right, and for some reason they choose to hang out with me. So there's got to be something good there.
People generally want to give back, just like you. You like you said, you're willing to go and talk to that guy that's lowballing everybody, even though he does quality work. It makes you feel good to go do something nice for someone else and help bring them up. So those people had somebody else help them. They're paying it forward if they're giving it to you. I think you mentioned, let me ask you this. Have you been in a situation where you've had to use one of the local guys because you got yourself in a jam? And they were able, no, they haven't. Okay. I think that's one of the, besides wanting to, like, I don't know that I want to call anybody competition. I like the way my buddy Ken Ballin looks at it. And it's not that there's no competition around you. There's just other flooring installers. And
there are other, right.
And so we can either we can help bring everybody up, or we can help bring everybody down, and you're going to participate in that system at some way. So what if, you know, I want to know what they're charging and what they're doing, but I also, if I need help, if I get myself in a jam, I want to be able to know that who I can call on. What company can I trust to sub something out to? Or maybe the project's too big for me because it's just me right now. And I know it's you and one other person, right? You have an apprentice or a fellow installer with you, right?
Right. Yep.
So what happens if you get offered this amazing job, but you need 4 guys to get it done in the 2-week time limit? Are you going to pass that up, or are you going to go call on another wood floor guy in your area and say, hey man, I need a hand. Like, let's go in 50-50 on this and knock it out. And, you know, maybe we get the next one too.
So, most guys, I do have a few guys in the area that I trust that if I can't do it, that if I can't get to, then I refer them. And they do the same thing. And if I can't get to it for some reason that I need more guys, there will be some of the people that I may be able to talk to. But we haven't really gotten into that. And we've done some collabs. But they've been for charity, where we get together and we go there and we bang out some floors.
Yeah.
But it's never been that to that point where we're like, yeah, we need to do this. Like, I don't know, a gym floor or something like that. We probably would just sub it out to somebody who does, or not even sub it out, just pass the job along. But if it was something huge and something that great, geez, man, yeah, there's probably 1, 2, 3, 4, about 4 or 5 guys that I know that if it worked out with their schedule, we'll be able to bang it out.
Yeah.
Most of the time, I'll just be like, hey, I'll need this much time to get it done, and I get it done.
No, I'm with you.
But I do wish that we were a little more, you know, that we had a tighter relationship, all of us all together, especially where in my area where we'll be able to take on some larger jobs that we're probably all missing out on just because we don't have the workforce, or because we're too, maybe a little bit of pride has to do there. We're too prideful to call somebody and say, hey, bro, I need some help. You know what I mean? I think a lot of it has sometimes to do with pride.
I totally believe that. Are you telling me a floor guy doesn't have a bunch of pride and proud issues and what? Come on. Get out of town.
We're a bunch of divas, man. That's what it is.
But it's look, you're hitting a key point in that everyone wants to look at that guy next to them when they're at the shop or they're picking up a job, or even me in my area. How I do everything myself. I find and sell all my own jobs. So. Right. Everybody else that has a flooring store that's doing the same thing, they're technically my competition. And so I need to be out there building relationships with these people. Maybe they're getting too many jobs that they can't handle. And as I'm trying to grow my company, I could be subbing installs off of them. But then maybe one day, if I can get my company off the ground and head in the direction I want it to go, I'm going to be having to call them and say, hey man, you got an extra crew I can borrow for a week? Let me get a crew so I can get this job done for these people. And then, I'll pay it back to you in the future. Like there's got to be a give and a take. There's got to be this. We have to stop hating on everyone else. Is the big point and takeaway that I think is coming from this for me, is that go out, network with the other installers in your area. If you're a wood guy, go meet the tile guy. Go meet the carpet guy. You might need them one day. Like, don't hate on them because they don't do what you do. Go build the relationship and see where it goes. You know, there's crews in New York that can take on giant apartment buildings because they're willing to work with 2, 3, 4, 5 other companies. But they couldn't none of those companies could do it alone. But in order to get they had to come together to make it happen. What can you do in your area to get into some other bigger potential jobs if you were to work with another company instead of looking at them solely as competition.
Gee, I think it's like I said. I think that it has to be. Well, just like any relationship, there's a two-way street.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so as long as the two-way street it's open and it's clear, then yes, people will work together. The problem is that we're all very egotistic. You know, we're worried about our ego. Some guys are worried about, because every job is an opportunity to build a relationship. And so, well, at least that's the way I see it. You know, you're building a relationship with the client, with the homeowner, with the builder, with whoever's there.
Yeah.
And so, I think some guys might be afraid that that you might build that relationship with that builder that you're helping out on, and that builder's going to like you better because you're more charming or whichever way it is. But as long as I think ground rules are set from the beginning, saying, "Hey, bro, you know this is my job. You don't talk to the contractor there. You're just there to do work." As long as ground rules are set, like I said, just like in any relationship, everything's good to go. I think a lot of it. Yeah, we're missing out on big stuff like that. There's a lot of big projects here and anywhere that we could be taking care of, and we don't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And also competitive wages. I'm not going to call my buddy to come work for me for $20 an hour. You know what I mean, when I know
no, you can't do that. Everyone's got to get paid. It's got to be fair. I'm not saying that, like, look, you're right. You know, okay, yes, you need to set some ground rules. If that's your client, the guy you're bringing in that runs his own company too probably shouldn't be trying to schmooze the builder. Like, you're right. But you also can't bring them in and treat them like slave labor. Like, if you're going to bring in another company, you need to give them a good part of the pie. Everyone's got to be happy. This is not trying to take advantage of people, but that's what I'm getting at, is stop trying to get ahead by stepping on others. There's a really good quote I've heard. It's, the people you see on your way to the top will be there on your way down. So you're probably not going to stay at the top forever. And the people you met on the way up, man, they're going to give you a really hard time on the way down if you stepped all over them. So keep that in mind. You know, you're right. Like, you can't bring them in and say, I'll pay you $20 an hour to start sanding. If that dude runs a company, you probably better give him 45% of the share of everything he's doing, if not split it 50-50. Like, you gotta, like, let's play fair, but let's, you know, be able to make some stuff happen that, the best term I've heard for it, it's called co-opetition.
There you go.
So,
there you go. I'm
going
to have to write that down.
It's co-opetition. I got a question for you. I want to deviate a little bit and go back to something you said earlier. You started your own business in Texas. You moved to Washington, and you worked for somebody before going out on your own. What had you learned between when you started your business in Texas to when you started in Washington that helped maybe build up the business faster, find better clientele? Like, what were the advantages of having done it and then moved away from an area and being able to start fresh?
Gee, there's so I moved from I was actually in Colorado before I moved to Washington, but what helped the most was managing a company where I was responsible for at least 8 to 10 guys, and so dealing with their personalities. I think that's the best thing to do is dealing with personalities and then dealing with clients and pretty much running the whole show, except for collecting the check. That was the thing I was doing. But other than that, I managed anything from fixing machines to ordering supplies, making sure scheduling, dealing with, broken down trucks, because we all deal with that, and trying to get to the job sites on time, and changing the whole schedule, and benefiting everybody, not only the boss, but benefiting my coworkers, financially. I learned that it takes a village. That's what it takes. It takes a village to be able to run a successful company. You know what I mean? It wasn't just because I was I was the prize child there. No, it took a whole village. It took everybody, and everybody to be accountable for. You know what I mean? So if everybody made a mistake, that person was accountable for. You know what I mean? And we all suffer from it. You know what I mean? Somebody fucks up on a measuring, or screws up measuring. Dude, it's you show up to a job site and you're short material and you can't finish it that day. It's gonna just a lot of people are not gonna be happy. So somebody has to be held accountable for the job. Or if I was the one who went into a job and screwed it up, now we're delayed. Now, other guys have to fill in for my time. So accountability. And being responsible for whatever it is that you do. You know what I mean? I think that had to do more than how great of a job you did or how awesome you were. It's just simple responsibility, showing up on time. So I really learned all of that. You know what I mean? So I had a lot of practice working for somebody else. Trying out new material, trying out new sanding paper, trying out new machines, and then I realized that there was more out there. And I mean, there was a lot more out there that I was not being aware of. Where it was reaching out reps from companies, reaching out, just talking. Dude, I'm a big swag freak. You know what I mean? So I was reaching out to a lot of companies. And I'll tell you, Kyle, if you come out there with a shirt, if I see you posting anything or a shirt that you make for your podcast, I'm probably going to call you and be like, hey, bro, what's up? So that's what I was doing. And so it all started with like, hey, how's it going? I just want to get a free shirt. And then, the same person's going to take the opportunity to be like, well, have you tried our products? And then you start being aware of the product. You don't have to necessarily use it, but awareness. A lot of that brought me a lot of awareness in the materials that I was using. I was stuck on using just one distributor, and then it turns out there's probably like 6-8 distributors in my area.
Yeah.
And so what helped me the most is just managing people, practicing there at somebody else's expense. You know what I mean? I've done jobs, Kyle, where I've gone out, I've done some roofing, a little bit of roofing, right? And I realized that it wasn't for me, but I went there with the attitude that I was like, dude, I'm making $10 an hour, but you know what? If you put me on a shed, if there's a shed that I got to build, and I learned. So I didn't take it negatively where I was like, oh yeah, I'm making this. I took that opportunity to go learn a trade. You know what I mean? At a cheap cost. So I'll go there and learn. Dude, I learned how from this old dude that was just like, he'll use cardboard and cut it all out and like, here, put it on the wall and it fit perfectly. You know what I mean? He'll go there, measure it, and use cardboard and stencil it, and it's like, boom, you slap. So, and I was making, dude, I don't remember, but it was pretty much. You know what I mean? But dude, now, my gosh, man, I could do some tile, and it's not really my forte, but dude, I'll slap on some tile, make good money with it. You know what I mean? So I've taken the time to go learn another trade that I probably don't necessarily like carpet. I'm not a fan of it, but maybe because I was kicking using a kicker to put carpet down. Maybe now they got power stretchers, and I seen this guy do it with power stretcher. I was like, what the? Like, dude, you're cheating there.
No, man, it ain't done. It actually will not get a warranty unless it is stretched in. That is the proper way to do it. But that's a different story.
So, but what I've learned is that taking the opportunity to go learn, to be aware, take classes. There's online classes for whatever it is that you do. I wasn't aware of this when I was working with somebody else. They didn't want you to be too knowledgeable, too aware. So there's online classes, there's certificates, there's 1-day certificate, 2-day certificate. There's so much information out there. I think Weddy does a free class. I know, everybody does class. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And just being exposed and aware of like, oh my gosh, you might think that you're doing everything right, and you learn like you got something easier to make your life easier, to make your job look better. So that's what's helped me. Just being aware, being informed, trying machines out, trying whatever's out there. You know what I mean? Because it's just an ever-changing industry.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it is that we do, you know what I mean? We got, from where I started doing PAL and every other trade I've done, machines have changed completely. And I'm still intrigued by how much stuff is out there that I don't know. You know what I mean? I was still putting down like Hardy Vector, and then this Weddy and this Sluder systems came out, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
I was in the dark ages, apparently.
there's a lot of crazy stuff out there.
So, but and then I see guys still doing it old school, and they do a great job, So it's not it's the final product that matters. But going back to your question is that there's nothing like being self-employed. There's a huge difference there. There is more work involved. Yes, there is more work involved. There is more because now you're responsible. You can't blame anybody. There's nobody held accountable but you.
Mm-hmm.
And dealing with the personalities of people that you employ, that has a lot to do with you because they represent you at the end of the day. You know what I mean? They're not representing X company. They're representing your company, your image. So that's the big one. And the bottom line is being paid. We're all here to get paid. So it doesn't matter how, to me, I've always said it is like, I don't care how charming the pig is. All I care about is the bacon. Right? So it could be the cutest pig you want it to be, but I'm there for the money. I mean? And we're there to get paid. That's the bottom line of the game. So if you're getting paid, however you're doing it, dude, more power to you, brother. You know what I mean? So do what you do, get paid, do an honest day's work job for the person, and get your reviews.
Yeah.
Everything's digital now. Everything's online. Get your reviews and work for those reviews. You know what I mean? Ask for them.
Yes. Please ask. Don't feel bad asking for the review. Get it.
Get it. If you could put something, like I said, like I go back to that cherry on top. If they ask you to, I've got some clients who they have to leave out of the house. I'm out there taking out their trash. Hey, when does your trash man come? Would you like us to take out the trash? Little things like that, Kyle, dude, you don't understand how huge they are for some people. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? They don't have to ask your neighbor. They don't have to ask your sister. They don't have to ask whoever. And that's one less thing they have to worry about. That most companies will probably not think about doing. You know what I mean? So it's a simplicity, something that I'm waiting there for coats to dry. You know what I mean? Like I could do that, no problem. Or if you see the trash cans empty, and they're not there. You see their newspaper. You see the box with the Amazon boxes out. Bring them in the garage. Let them know. And another thing, Kyle, that's been really, really helping me lately, I don't know if you, but it's doing a video. So there's a guy that said a picture equals 1,000 words.
Yep.
But a video equals 1,000,000 words.
So
do a video. Do a video chat. If your clients are not there and it's the end of the day, you already cleaned up And whatever trade do you do? You know what I mean? Do a video, a small video walkthrough. You don't have to say much. You just say, hey, Ann, hey, Ann, how you doing? Here's a quick walkthrough of your shower install. And we kind of tell them a little bit of things and things that that they might raise a question about. This is here, or we left this tape here, or we did this. And you give them a quick rundown of what's going on. They're going to feel, 100% comfortable sitting in their hotel room or their vacation home or whatever they are, knowing that, oh, great, look how great everything looks. This guy went through it. They're done. Hey, we locked out the house or we left the slide on or whatever. They're aware of it. Now they have a peace of mind. They can go to sleep. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead of like, oh my gosh, did the guy leave? What time did he leave? What time did he show? Did you do that? I do that in the mornings when I get there, especially if they're not there, or a quick text, just to say, hey, we're here. Hey, we're gone. Hey, we're going to go get some lunch. But they're aware, of every step of what's going on, what we're doing.
Communication is key.
Dude, yes, communication, man, and they want to know, And like, I go back to the experience. You're selling an experience, and they're going to tell everybody about it. If you show them a video, they're going to send that video to their mom, to their cousin, to their husband, to their wife, to their boyfriend, their girlfriend, whoever. They're going to send that video to everybody. Because why am I doing all this home improvement? Yeah, it's for me, but also I want to show off.
Yeah.
And dude, they send that out, man. It's worth $1 million. Do it. Just do it.
I'm with you, and it doesn't even have to be a good video. I'm really bad about video, and it's because I don't like dealing with that medium anymore since I don't get paid for it.
Right.
So I was in reality television, for those who haven't heard the story, before I got into the flooring industry. And so I'm stuck in the mindset of I have to have the fancy camera and the fancy lighting and all of that stuff. But the longer I continue to participate in the flooring world, dude, people don't care. Take your iPhone, take a picture of something, do what Jorge's saying, and do a little video and send it off to them. Go live on your Facebook page and talk about like a problem you're having on the project you're on and how you're solving it to make somebody's life better. And people will eat it up. They love it. One of the most successful people I've heard of does the goofiest thing, man. They take a picture of every dog on every job. And so he does like his helper of the week. And it's a contractor. And so, this week, like Pepper is his helper, and next week it's Sausage, and, whoever the dog is. And people will, he has so many follows on his page. I don't remember who it is. It's just an article I read. But people follow the page just to see the pictures of the darn dogs.
Yeah.
If you don't think that guy is getting jobs left and right from social media, you are kidding yourself. And then the other facts you're bringing up of, communicating with people and staying in touch and letting them know what you're doing and bringing in the packages, and then obviously let them know you brought in the package so you're not getting accused of stealing and whatnot. But
right. Yeah.
Like I said, communication is key, but it's all those little things, you're letting them know you're there. You're letting them know you left. You're letting them know you locked the door or put the key back in the lock box or where you got to for the day. You're 100% right in that all those little things matter. When I ask for my reviews, I don't just ask them to leave a review. I specifically say anything that has made this experience stand out from any other experience you've had with a contractor would be very helpful in your review. I was like, if you want to just put Kyle was great and he did a nice install and I'm happy with him, that's fine. But what really helps me be able to sell my business is when you take the time to leave those extra little details that separate me from other contractors you may have dealt with.
Yep.
And that's people will want to hire me before I even show up because they can go read these reviews that have specific examples of what makes my service so much better. So it's little things. You're dead on the money of all of these little things. It's so It's so simple and yet it's so complicated, right? Like
Yeah.
it's if you can do all of these little things, they all add up, and you don't have to do them overnight though. Implement them one by one by one. After you get one and you're used to that being in your system, add another one. Add another one.
Yep. Yeah, because we become very numb. We become very numb of doing the same. You know, it almost becomes like a routine.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you're like in and out, in and out. You know, it's just another floor. It's just another house. It's just another nothing. But you got to remember that somebody else is excited about this. You know, I mean, these people have saved money. These people are excited, super thrilled to have you there, have you do that job. And if you get in with that excitement, you know, if you trigger that excitement a little bit more by doing little tiny things, dude, oh my gosh, it's like you're like in the same party. You know what I mean? You're with them. So yes, get excited. I'll still get excited about every tiny little thing. You know, It doesn't have to be a big job or a huge job. I get excited over a freaking transition. You know what I mean? I explain to the homeowner what I'm doing with it and why I'm doing it with it. You know what I mean? And they get excited with me. They get passionate about it. And we're going to do this and we're going to do that. And obviously setting expectations. You know, if you set expectations from the get-go, everything's going to be smooth sailing. You know, if you put you set them up the bar too high, and you want to tell them all the things, wonderful things you're going to do, but you're not going to deliver, you're done. You know what I mean? But try to under-deliver, show them what could happen, what are the possibilities. You know, it's just like going to the doctor.
Yeah. No, hold on. You said under-deliver. Under-promise, over-deliver. Let's get it right, buddy.
Under-promise. Sorry. Yeah. Just go to the doctor, you know.
Unless you're Jorge's competition, then under-deliver.
Yeah, under-deliver completely. But I went to the doctor, and the doctor's telling me, like, all these things that could possibly go wrong. And I'm like, dude, you know, my life's over. And, dude, it was just nothing. It was nothing, right? And I was like, oh, great. But if he would have said, yeah, nothing's going to go wrong, and then next thing you know, I'm, like, in surgery for 4 hours, and I can't work for a month, then, yeah, dude, I'm you know, like, fuck, I just went there to get my temperature checked.
Yeah. It's like reading WebMD online. You're going to die no matter what. I got a little cut. Oh, I'm going to die. I got cancer.
Yeah, right? And so setting expectations is a huge thing. It's another huge thing that many guys don't do, you know. Walk the job, look at the job, and set as many expectations as possible. That way they already know, they've already been told. And be your biggest diva. You know what I mean? Be the biggest diva in on the job. You know what I mean? That way clients don't jump over you. You know what I mean? When their expectations are bigger than yours, dude, you're done. You know what I mean? You might as well walk out of the job. But if you set them from the get-go and understand their expectations and kind of work with them with what they want and their vision, and yes, but at the same time, you don't want to be like, oh, no, you know, you're crazy. That maybe we want to tell that to some clients from time to time, but it's great, man. It keeps us busy. It keeps us alive. Any trade just keeps you alive. You know what I mean? That's the beauty about this, is that nothing is the same thing. It's always a different home, different atmosphere, different personalities of people. It's great, man. I'm just so thrilled to be part of this.
Oh man, no, I'm 100% with you. You know, I can't, I've done the cubicle thing. I can't do it. Like if I'm on a project longer than 10 days, I'm ready to walk. I can't do it. I just want my check. I gotta get to that I gotta get to that new piece of scenery and that new client. You brought up being able to communicate, being able to set the expectations. And I think that is absolutely key. A lot of people talk about having nightmare clients and they're taking over and they won't listen. Man, they hired you as the expert to begin with. you needed to establish yourself as the expert and tell them, look, it's going to be this way or it's not going to happen because that's why you brought me in. The other thing is communication. She's accepted my bid. The builder did her stairs in vinyl plank. They did the whole home. The stairs look absolutely horrendous. Her husband could care less.
Oh.
For her, it's an aesthetic thing. She doesn't like the overlap nose. They undercut the drywall on the sides and slipped the flooring past the drywall and then did some touch-up drywall work and then caulked it, and this caulk is smeared up the wall and onto the plank. It's hideous.
Wow.
So she's going to pay me to rip everything out and start over from the bottom and work up, and I have flush mount noses to go with it now. We're going to add skirting to cover up the drywall that's probably going to get messed up. We're going to put white risers, or, well, at least risers that'll match whatever paint color they want to do the skirting and risers. But when I I was trying to locate the product and get more info, and so I had to call the builder and talk to their design center and stuff, and they're like, we don't even put vinyl and hard surface on stairs, so I don't know who she is or what kind of person she is, but I've got to imagine she's really pushy. And right. I was just like, yeah, no, that's just because you guys don't know how to communicate with people because you're more worried about selling all your homes than anything else. Like, I've had no problems with her, and I've already exchanged like 10 emails with her. Yes, she has a lot of questions, but I'm answering them and maintaining control of the situation and telling her, no, we got to do it this way because of that. No, it's going to cost this much because of this. You know, unless you want to maybe spend a little bit less and do a bunch of drywall touch up, like we really should put the skirting in. I've been communicating, and I think that's the key.
Yep.
Like, people are going to get on you and try and take control of the situation if they don't think you have control. So you're the professional, maintain control. Like, if you know, what's the biggest thing? I don't want to fix my subfloor, just install it, right? That's what everybody's always dealing with.
Right.
Walk. Why? Just walk. Let somebody else take the job and eat it if that's the kind of work they want done. Why would you even risk it? Go find somebody that is going to value you as the expert. It doesn't make sense to me. So I think what you're speaking about is right along those lines. Like, you go in and establish yourself and then communicate and stay clear with them. And you don't have there's just not as many issues. And then you look exactly. Like you are the professional, and they like it, and you communicated, and then they say, oh, that's why we hired him at the end of the day. It's not a question of like, I wonder if we should have gone with the other company. You know, you gave them the cherry. So all amazingly good stuff, my friend. All right, we have come to the end. I have enjoyed every minute of it, and I appreciate you taking your time to play with us today, give us insights, give us a look into what you're doing and how you're doing it so that we can all kind of grow from it. If somebody wants to reach out to you, how could they do that?
They can reach out to me personally. I'm a big texter. I love texting, so they can text me anytime. I'm always available. And I love, genuinely, I love to help. If you have any learning questions, if you have any interest in anything, let me know. Like, my phone number is, well, you can reach out to me at Epic Hardwood Floors with an S at gmail.com. And then we'll take it from there. And just like I talk to guys left and right all the time. Some guys who have been doing it for a long time, some guys who have not, some guys who work for a company and they're trying to get out, some guys who just simply want to say hello, you know what I mean? And just bounce ideas, you know. I have no problem, and I'm always here. I'm always available. I'm not, you know, I don't have a yacht yet or a big fishing pole. So
not yet, he says. Notice he said not yet.
Yeah, not yet. But until then, I'll be available to anybody.
What do you got? You got an Instagram or anything for us?
Yes, I do have an Instagram, Epic Hardwood Floors.
Okay.
You find me on Instagram. I'm very active on Instagram. Like I said, sometimes I have some contests, some prize wins. I just try to keep it as interactive, and like I said, I'm no different from anybody. I mean, and so I'm just trying to make a living doing what I do, what I love to do, and try to put food on the table for the family, man.
Right on. What if I want a Hardwood Floor Divas shirt? How do I get one of those?
Oh, I got you. My wife does a lot of the printing. I'm printing them out. I actually got a box ready to go. Just let me know what size, man.
Oh man,
there's a Hardwood Floor Divas and the Wood Fillet. I did a Wood Fillet too.
Okay.
That's for the charity project that we got going on. But the Wood Fillet is for that, and but the Hardwood Floor Divas is a big. It's just two. It's just for fun. These are all for fun. They're not gonna. I don't charge anybody for them. Doesn't go for any charity or anything. It's just a gag, really.
All right, guys, get a hold of them. Get those. See, I think you got to start charging, man. You got to hashtag Hardwood Floor Divas. Get a hold of Jorge. Order your shirts, guys, at Epic Hardwood Floors. Instagram, Epic Hardwood Floors at gmail.com. Hit him up. He knows stuff. Trust me. I've been hanging out in some Zoom chats with the hardwood guys lately, and I am getting actually just about any Zoom chat I've been in lately with this Corona stuff. I'm getting schooled in all of them. It's like gang up on Kyle time, and it's absolutely hilarious, and I love it. So get out there, keep learning, learn while you earn. Get cut out that music, guys. Get a book, get the podcast going. Jorge, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it, and I look forward to staying in touch.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, Kyle. Take it easy, man. I appreciate for you taking the time, and hope to hear from you guys soon.
All right, sounds good. Bye. That's all the time we have for this week. To keep the conversation going, head on over to the Floor Academy Facebook group. Be sure to subscribe so you can hear each and every episode. We can be found on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, and most major podcast directories. Don't forget to leave a review and let us know what you think about the show. If you would like to be a guest, have questions or feedback, you can email us at flooracademypodcast@gmail.com. You can help support the show by becoming a patron over at www.patreon.com/flooracademy. Remember to learn while you earn.